The Shema is the most powerful Jewish prayer. It is the prayer that we say when we wake up in the morning and before we go to bed at night. It is the first prayer that mothers teach their babies and the last line that people whisper before their deaths. It is the mission statement, the pledge of allegiance of the Jewish people. Why? What is so powerful about the Shema? Let me tell you a story. I have a friend whose father built a garment company. He is an only child, and growing up, his dad would always comment how one day his son is going to take over the business. But my buddy never had an interest, so when he graduated college, he joined an investment bank. But after a few years, he left his job and joined his dad's company. I once asked him, "What's it like working for your dad?" He said, "I love it." He said, "When I was working for the bank, there was a feeling that always gnawed at me. I knew that to advance my career, it wasn't enough to do good work. I needed to impress the right people, but I never knew who they were. I worked with so many people, but I never knew who had influence and who just pretended that they had influence. Who would protect me if the pressure was on, and who would abandon me on a whim." But it went further. I wasn't even sure if the work I was doing was good for my career. I mean, most of the time, I felt like the tasks were disconnected and only benefited the person giving me the work, and not me in any way. I felt like an insignificant cog in a larger machine and had no idea if I was just running in circles or following any sort of path. But now that I work for my dad, those feelings are gone. See, my father's the CEO of the company. There is no one more important than him. When he wants me to do something, he is the person I need to please. But it's more than that. He's trying to build me up into a person that can take over the business. So I know that there's a reason for everything he gives me. Whether it's sweeping floors or sitting in a negotiation, if he puts me into a situation or gives me a task, I know it's connected to a greater purpose. See, I trust my dad that he has my best interest in mind, and I can just focus on doing my best. Life works in a similar way. While we try to control our future, we don't really know what it's going to take to get us where we want to go. We don't really know the people or circumstances that will advance our careers, protect our health or finances, or give us great relationships. We may even ask ourselves, am I following a path to somewhere or just running around in circles? And then, before we start, and after we end every day, we remind ourselves, Shema, listen, pay attention. Yisrael, the Jewish people, me, Hashem, there's a God in the world, Elokeinu, He's the creator, He is the sustainer of humanity, He is the universal CEO. Hashem, that same God, Echad, is one, He's unity. Everything's connected, everything has a purpose. God is running the world and He loves you like an only child, and He has a plan for you. That means that every circumstance that happens in your life, changing a tire, going to the doctor, seeing someone in need, making or losing money, finding or losing love, everything is God-given and is connected to the larger purpose of making you as great as you can possibly be. And if we don't just say those words, if we actually believe them, we live differently. Sure, we may have to work hard. We know that's the only way to accomplish anything great anyways. That's not what bothers us. We're bothered by the feeling of, am I going around in circles? That gnawing feeling of ambiguity we have in life. But if we internalize the words of the Shema, if we realize that our dad is the CEO and we're his only child, we navigate life with a certain calm, clarity, and faith. We stay focused on our job, which is doing our best, and know that everything He sends our way is meaningful and connected, whether we see it or not. That's the Shema. From morning till eve, from the cradle to the grave, our guiding star to living with God in the journey we call life.